There we go.
Perfect. Okay, good. All right, so we are at Isabel's archetype branding session, and we are going to review the archetypes that came up for her on the personality and values quiz. And the first one is girl next door. And so the girl next door is basically somebody who everybody considers a friend. People feel at home around this person, and they know this is somebody they can share their everyday challenges with. So somebody very approachable, which is a great trait for an entrepreneur and a business. Your brand is rooted in realism, empathy, and a genuine lack of pretense. It's about celebrating the beauty of the everyday while connecting with people on a deeper, down-to-earth level.
Hmm.
What do you think of this, Isabel? Do you identify with some of it, most of it, all of it?
Pretty much all of it. Um, yeah, you nailed it.
Okay, so you feel like you're approachable and people share things with you easily.
I think so, yes.
That's good because I feel like that's the kind of trust that then allows people to also want to get into business with you and trust you with their money or with your advice. So that's great. So
Okay.
the main goal usually for a girl next door archetype is to be accepted, to be a part of a community, and to be friends with most everyone. The values, honesty, authenticity, and approachability, somebody relatable and down to earth. And the colors are pretty muted with neutrals and ivory, for example. And you did mention you like that minimalistic style, which lines up perfect for a girl next door who's not a harsh, not a bright kind of color
Hmm.
um, color palette, usually not represented, but more like with the muted ones. That's good.
Hmm.
All right, so lean into your girl guy next door charm. Use it to build genuine connections and inspire a sense of community and trust. Just like Ford, Target, or Wrangler, you're the brand people can rely on, a steady presence that feels like home. Get ready to be the friendly face that people will always count on. I think that's going to go well for you. It's not going to be a challenge, right?
Yeah. Although instead of like Ford and Target, I think more like Birkenstock.
Mhm. Yeah, they're a little bit too everyday, right?
Yeah.
You want the fancier everyday, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
neutral and fancier everyday. I'll take a
yeah.
note of that. All right. So here's the suggested color theme, and I know your current logo is this creamy color with more like a blue, a muted blue. So we will talk about colors tomorrow, but I'd like you to start thinking about if you like these colors, which
Mhm.
one would it be that you'd pull in? Rather this rose color, this more feminine color of somewhat of a red, it's a red hue, or more like the green, that's more like an explorer, an earthy and more natural color, or you really like the blue that you have currently, and then the blue would replace something here on this color. Like the blue would not go well with the purple. It would go well with the others, but I just feel like five different colors are too many for a brand. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
So we're gonna focus on that tomorrow, so you'll have some time to think it through.
Okay. I have been working on the logo and I think I have it's pretty much the same as what you've seen. The only difference is that it's added, I think, more of that cool gray, like where the eye is.
Okay. So
So I like that.
the gray. Okay, and the gray. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll talk more about it.
But yeah, okay. That sounds good.
All right, we're gonna skip the video and all that, but let's review then. Let's review. So the main values of a girl next door is honesty, authenticity, and relatability, and somebody who's down to earth. So you will have to look at these values because in a few minutes, we're gonna get to these, and I would like you to pick some of these. We're gonna mix it with the Explorer, or if you had something that's stronger coming from you, then we can keep that, of course. Um, we talked about goals as being part of the community. A strategy for a girl next door is celebrating the beauty of every day by connecting to people, with people on a deeper level. What worries a girl next door is being overlooked or blending in too much, which is actually a real threat. You want to be somewhat memorable and not
Mm,
blending completely. So that's the girl next door
okay.
threat, that you are like everybody else, but you don't want to be.
Yeah.
So brand voice is usually friendly, practical, and humble. And customers feel comfortable knowing that they can count on you. Okay.
Okay.
Normally, clients will choose to work with a Girl Next Door brand because they like the value that they provide at a good price. It's not a luxury, not an expensive brand. It's
Sure.
really a good value. They
Hmm.
like that you're approachable and down to earth, and they feel that they're part of your circles, your community. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna skip brands and brand colors, and that's that. So
Okay.
you told me that you are pretty much identifying with all of it, except for the Ford and Jeep part. It's a Birkenstock.
Yeah. I mean, just because that's like super classic.
Too basic, too classic.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I'm a little touch above that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the verbiage and everything that makes sense. I will admit like that's one of the reasons why like on my social media, the Instagram, I started the approach that I'm taking with it is to see it more as like a diary because the whole ostentatious, like luxury kind of just like um see who I, like, here I am, see me, all the show and tell with that kind of stuff just doesn't resonate with me. It's more like I need it to be more organic and people engaging with me more at a down to earth level so that it's much more palatable to me to kind of see that as like a diary because there's no selling necessarily involved. It's kind of happening organically.
Really, yeah, I like that. And a diary, I think, is a pretty vulnerable place. A diary is like showing people what's going on inside, right?
Yeah, yeah. Which again comes back to the idea of like girl next door where, the people resonate with that because not everybody would share that kind of stuff.
True. Yeah. A lot of people just put a face.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Are we ready to hop onto the Explorer?
Yep.
Let's do the Explorer. I switched screens. Do you see it or do I need to reshare it?
No, no, I see it.
Okay. So let's talk about the Explorer for a minute. Um, the Explorer actually brings excitement. Something to
Hmm.
explore, something exciting, something new. That's what the Explorer promises. So they feel the rush of stepping into the unknown, driven by curiosity and wonder. This brand becomes a gateway to new experiences and untapped potential, feeling them and their clients invigorated and ready for more. Okay, it's stepping out of the usual, the everyday,
Hmm.
explore something new, and lead others towards something new and exciting. As an explorer, you've got some serious strength on your side. Ambition, freedom, and staying true to who you are and staying true to who you are fuel your brand's energy. You're here to inspire, to show others what's possible when you embrace your thirst for adventure and boldly go wherever curiosity takes you. But explorers have their challenges. Their biggest enemies are routine, conformity, and the lack of purpose. So boredom is their biggest fear. Your mission
Yeah.
is to push others out of their comfort zones and into a life full of discovery and authenticity. Beware of losing focus. Wandering aimlessly can lead to missed opportunities. Stay true to your core values while keeping an open mind to new ideas and new environments. The goal is to explore, not to drift. What do you think of these traits so far?
Yeah, I mean, very much resonates with me as well. I have been known to say, where was it? The boredom part.
Yes, it's in the
Ru-
middle.
yeah, routine, conformity.
Less purpose.
Like,
We are our biggest enemies.
yeah, I just I can't. That really, I struggle with that kind of stuff. And then, like, I can get bored pretty easily because I need something to keep me excited. Um, and the other words that came out were like ambition, freedom, and staying true to who I am, or like, the energy of the brand. Like it's very hard to, like, I'm not gonna just like blindly follow something. I need to know why and like what's the point. So
So you like to investigate.
yeah, I
Is
mean
that
it's not.
what you think?
What's that?
Is that what you're trying to say? Like you need to.
Yeah, like, well, like the curiosity and wonder piece,
Mm,
I just don't always take things at face value. It's more like, tell me more, or where where is that coming from, and like what's the actual need? And it kind of like it's a good tag with the girl next door, because like it's also very authentic. Like I don't, when I ask if I'm talking to someone or trying to it just kind of organically happens that I build a community that way, because I'm like genuinely is interested, right, in like the person.
yeah,
Um, and so the curiosity comes from there and just kind of continues.
I love it. Genuine interest. I
Hmm.
totally know what you mean because this is my main archetype.
Nice.
Love trying new things.
Yeah.
Really, I'm happy with this, kind of curiosity and adventure. And
Yeah.
occasionally I get disappointed. This was not as it was promised, or it sounded
Yeah.
good, it wasn't good. Uh,
Yeah.
but I usually really enjoy being at different places or show different things. I think that's why people um, like me because they immediately like, oh, I've seen you been here and here and here, and how is that? I think they just look at me as a trailblazer and they're curious to, is it something that they want to follow or how is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I jokingly, my parents were the ones that told me, they're like, yeah, I mean, pretty much every 5 years, if you don't do something different, like with your home, you start getting really antsy. And so in my 20s and 30s, I mean, I pretty much lived all over the place every couple of years,
Hmm.
which is another reason why I got into real estate investing, because it's like, well, it would be cool to just have a house everywhere. Um, but yeah, and I mean, and then people will ask, which I'm sure they've done for you, is like, well, which one's your favorite? And I'm like, well, see, that's hard because every place has something great. So
Yeah.
I can say, I can't ever say that I've lived in a place that like I just didn't like, because I just always found something really cool about it.
Which is great. That's the explorer part, right? And I'm sure
Yeah,
you mold those places too to be different.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so here are the main values of an explorer: exploring, individualism, and freedom. So, freedom and independence, actually, those two go hand in hand. I would add independence here too.
Hmm.
The goal is to discover new horizons, to explore places, and to connect with new people.
Hmm.
Um, Brand colors are shades of blues and greens, which the blues and greens kind of align
Hmm.
with the girl next door, right?
Yeah.
So these could totally be girl next door. This could be girl next door. This is too bright for a girl next door, but
Yeah.
we can mix and match. And if you really like the color you already have, that's fine too. Okay.
Yep.
Did you want to say something?
No.
Okay.
Well,
So G Patagonia, National Geographic. I love National Geographic.
oh, I know. I love National Geographic.
Yeah, yeah, these are all explorer brands. So values we just talked about, goal we
Yep.
just talked about. Here's the strategy. You're here to inspire, to show others what's possible when you embrace your thirst for adventure and boldly go wherever curiosity takes you. Worries, routine conformity, we talked about that.
Mhm.
Your brand voice is usually bold, free-spirited, and very open to new ideas. So very open-minded.
Mhm.
Customers feel excited and driven by curiosity and wonder when they work with you. And they choose to work with you because they like the rush of stepping into something new and unknown. They're curious about what possibilities you're going to show them. And they feel invigorated and ready for more. You basically like get their blood moving and get their excitement going. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's that. So now that you can compare the girl next door and the explorer, do you feel you identify with both of them equally, or is one of them a little stronger for you that you're identifying with?
No, it's like 50-50 for me. I
Okay.
mean, like pretty close. They're very close. They kind of just go like that. And then what was the other one that I had?
The
I
rebel.
Yeah, I think that one kind of pops in every now and then.
Tell me about one without us looking. Tell me how you feel the rebel pops in for you. Like,
Well, like I haven't read what it is, but it just like the word rebel, right? Like I like to say I ask for forgiveness and not permission a lot of times. I I lead with like connection, community, or like genuine curiosity and wonder, but I'm not really gonna ask. I'm just gonna do it. Like
you ever bend the rules? Because a rebel would bend the rules. They wouldn't follow all the rules.
yeah, I mean, I don't blindly follow rules. I need to understand why. If I can get that, then um that's why I'm saying like they all kind of come together because I'm not going to, because bending the rules to me, depending on what it is, for example, like might cause some disrespect. And so I wouldn't do that. Like I wouldn't bend the rule to favor me and not take into account the other person or the scenario.
Okay.
So, but I will, like, for example, just something that comes to mind, completely random. So we live in a subdivision that has an HOA. We were at a birthday party this past weekend. It was really hot, and there were a lot of kids out there. And it was my neighbor's son's party, and she's very much like a rule follower, and everybody was like, the sun was just beating on them. And I've lent her our canopy, so for the sunshade thing. And I know she has it. And so I'm like, why didn't you bring the canopy? And she's like, oh, I don't know, because, the rules say, and I'm like, take it out. I'm going to put it, if someone comes, I'll own it. It's mine. No big deal. And she's like, well, if you say it, and I'm like, I don't care." Because
This is
it, ha-
sense. Your common sense overrules the usual rules, right? This is
yeah,
the greater good, so we have to bend
yeah.
the rule today, right?
Yeah, yeah. Or like another example, which is very much, I mean, my daughter gets it from me, but like, for example, at camp, um, she might do something, again, not ask for permission, but forgiveness, and they'll explain it to her, and she's like, well, I'm still gonna do it because the rule doesn't make sense.
Yes, if the rule doesn't make, we're not talking about, I mean, a true rebel brand, for example, Harley Davidson. people that identify with that strongly would bend rules that could get them to jail. But
Yeah.
that's why you're not, your main archetype is not a rebel, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So
you will bend rules, but not as far as to get to jail for bending
yeah.
rules,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like I'm not just gonna I mean, like I totally understand the Harley Davidson, right? But like I'm not gonna do it just for the sake of doing it, right? Like my inner core doesn't just require that. I just uh,
Mhm.
because of maybe the curiosity of the explorers, like, well, okay, but why?
Yeah. And I think an explorer is also somewhat of a rule bender because
Yeah,
you don't follow everybody's norm, right? So you
yeah,
go out of your way and you'll explore new things,
yep,
and you can only do that happily if you don't follow every single rule.
right, right, yeah,
All right,
yep.
so I don't think we need to look at the rebel, but if you want to, we could, or you can do it after we meet. But I think we're gonna try to sneak in a little bit of rebel into your brand.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm good. It doesn't need, we don't
So
need to look at it.
let's talk about what it matter, why it matters, or what it means that you're not one archetype but more than one. So we talk about like a 2.5 brand archetype here.
Okay,
So what this means that even though you're like a kind person and very approachable, and people confide in you like a girl next door, and you probably will have an easy time to build that trust that others will work harder for. You
uh-huh,
also are an explorer and you want to show people new ways and a new kind of out of the box thinking, or, with your financial services or help and educating others how to become investors in real estate, like how they can get on this path and how this new thing could be good for them. So
yeah,
you have this ability of be both. And with the rebel, we'll talk a little bit more, but I think with the rebel, maybe you'll have some unorthodox solutions to show them depending on what situation they are, and
yeah,
maybe like encourage them to be bolder and braver and really step out of their comfort zone. So this is how blending these three will matter, and I will build a word vocabulary for you that involves all three of them, okay?
okay, okay,
So the word vocabulary, we're not gonna like do that together, but we were talking about your brand voice anyways and typical things you would say. And based on that, I will create that for you. And what it's gonna do for you, if you wanna always keep that in mind, have it in front of you or input it in ChatGPT or other, AI solutions, it's going to include more of your power words coming from these archetypes to your communication and marketing and social media posts. Okay.
okay.
Any questions on that?
No, makes sense to me.
Yay. Okay, let's move on to your story.
Okay,
So I got a story from you, and I just went through it again today. So I think it's a good story. It just needs to be refined and made it a little more elevated and powerful.
okay.
I'm gonna stop sharing here for a second. We
Oh,
don't.
I see two of me.
Did you see two of you for a sec?
Yeah,
Yeah. So let's talk about this story. So what I have highlighted on your story that you shared with me is, of course, that you came from an entrepreneur background.
hmm,
You have um, you have some background in project management, handling large accounts like millions of dollars for companies.
hmm,
Then you also talk about how your parents are great role models, right? Because they have been doing the buying homes and rehabbing them and refinancing them and then renting them out. So they're definitely powerful examples for you. Uh,
hmm,
and then your why is to just create that financial success and more freedom of what you want to do in your life, whether you want to keep having a corporate career or have an entrepreneur life, and
hmm,
you have a legacy built for your daughter.
hmm.
So This is a good starting point. Let's
Okay.
talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's make it a little more approachable for others that you're going to talk about. So let's have your story spin around so they can see themselves in it. How are they related to your story? Okay,
Hmm.
let's focus on that connection.
Okay.
So let's pretend I'm your client. I'm your newest client. We're talking about real estate investing. We're talking about potentially some financial help that you can provide, or you can create a plan for me how to come up with that financial plan that I can invest for myself.
Okay.
How is your story of your parents and being real estate investors and you being a project manager and you already have started building that then creating this freedom for you? How is that relating to me? Where do I come in here?
Yeah, so I guess I'll have to like think about how I would parse that out because it just depends on who I'm talking to. So like um if it's someone that's interested in like learning about project management, for example, I might walk them through or try to understand my initial my initial interaction with them would be something related to being like wanting or interested in project management, right? Or needing a project manager.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I would do is just like, well, are you interested in project management? Do you do project management? Um, Kind of try to understand where that person sits, right? Like how much of it do they know, and then um, are they interested in like the services I would provide for project management? So like to give you an example, right now I have a like a team of women that do flips, and they are trying, so they are active real estate investors. They like I know a little bit about their story because we've been, attending a lot of like women investing in real estate events and things for a while. So like every single interaction that we've had, it's like building that rapport with them. So where do you come from? Did you grow up in Colorado? Did you do real estate investing? Like did your family do that? Like how did you come into the world of real estate investing? So it's just like every time working on the relationship and just genuine curiosity about that person. And then like every single time we've talked is like, how have you, how are you, how is your portfolio going? Like, what are the things that you're working on? Those kinds of things. And then over time, we basically got to the point where they're like, well, I would like to level up and um I'm working more on flips, which is more like active work, right? Like it's stuff that they need, it's not passive, so they need to be involved day to day. The challenge with that is specifically flips, you have construction management and project management. And a lot of that is organization and like managing a project scope, managing a timeline and managing budget. So like through conversation, I get from them what their actual need is, and then I would insert examples of like how I have managed a similar project. And then over time, I would say, well, I can help you. For example, a low lift way would be like if you need a project schedule, I can put that together for you. And then you are left with a template of a schedule that you can reuse for your next flip project. That would be a way to do that. If it's financial literacy, it might be like I'm thinking mostly it's like with either other women or other people like Hispanics that have grown up in the same way that I have, where, first generation really didn't have a foundation of like how the US does, the education system and all that. So like I was kind of learning all that as I go because I was the first generation in living in the US. And so I might do the same approach where I'm like, well, my parents, came here and learned as we went. Like as I went through school, they learned as well, and they kind of learned how this process works. So kind of um, s- sprinkling in my story to help them get their story out. So it's more like a two-way conversation, relationship building first. There's like no selling or anything ever really involved. It's more like, how can I help you,
Educate
uh,
you.
yeah, educate you first, and then we can talk about what you actually need. And
So
then for real estate investing, it would be the same way.
yeah. So what you've been telling me about is more like different clients and different personas that you would be working with and how would you talk to them. So that's going to come when we talk about your ideal clients and the avatars.
Uh-huh.
Let's remember all of these because there are differences, right? Is this a
Yeah.
Hispanic person learning about financial, literacy? Is this
Mhm.
a person who has money set aside already for,
Mhm.
investing, or is this a person who actively wants to flip? These are the
Yeah.
three scenarios I heard. Let's
Yeah.
go back to very, very basics. I
Yep.
want to talk about your story and like where your passion comes from. Uh,
Mhm.
you have the self motivation to create this freedom and to become an entrepreneur and all that. But
Mhm.
what's the motivation for others? Like, how do you sell the story to me and other people that you're going to meet that will catch their interest? So I'm thinking, but I'm trying not to put words in your mouth.
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
advice would be to that you are passionate about providing this kind of freedom and financial independence to others. But that's
I
just
guess,
very basic motivation, I'm guessing, right now.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's like the true motivation is back to like some of the definition of the archetypes that I resonate with. It's like it's not really about me in the end of at the end of the day. It's more like the legacy and really trying to build that community and like uh leave what is the Colorado thing? Like leave leave the parks better
Um,
than than you found them. Like that's kind of my thing. Is like, you know, I've already lived my youth. I mean, and I still have many, many more years, but I'd rather spend those years like not just uplifting my daughter, right? Because it's important for me to like translate everything that I've learned and that my parents and everybody else, before me has given to me. But like empower the next generation or like to leave a legacy so that like the next people in line can build off of all of this stuff.
okay, I like this better. This is more powerful. And I like the quote, the leave the parks better than you found them. Let's look it
Yeah.
up because I think
Yeah.
you can include that in your story, like a true Colorado, not
Mhm.
me, but a true Colorado resident
Yeah.
or a Coloradan at heart.
Yeah.
I'd like to leave a legacy and my community at a better place, kind of like when you visit a park and you leave the
Mhm.
park better than. I like
Yeah.
to spin
Yeah.
that with your story.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because it's true. Like that's the case for a lot. Like the foundation or the root of most of this is like, what's the point of learning all these things, doing all these things if like I don't have someone else to share it with?
To pass it on to or share it with, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you
And
think about different investments, we can think about the stock market. You're talking about real estate. We can
mhm.
talk about, I don't know, starting two, three businesses, right? Out of all these investments or growing money or becoming more financially stable, why would you say real estate is it?
For me, it has a lot to do with it's something tangible. I've done the stock market. I do the stock market. I've done some of the other like crypto, gold, all those things, right? And those are all great ways of generating, like wealth in the long run because it's not you're not the value of money is like it's not time based, right? It's like you're building off of what it's not all about like hourly or what you are that you have to be present in order for that to make the money work. And so, but the behind it all is the foundational philosophy or concepts associated with that. So it's not like in my case, real estate investing is it because it's more active. Like there are different ways that I can do it. And because also everybody needs a place to live. So with that,
With necessities, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Look,
yeah,
I always think about this when somebody starts a new business. Did they really look at like on what level is it on the Maslow pyramid?
yeah,
Is it a
yeah.
basic necessity for life? Is it one of those luxuries that in a bad economy it's gonna be very, very unreliable? Or where is it on this, place? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like everyone needs a place to live. So, and the cool thing about real estate investing is that you can use different strategies based on where you are in your life and take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't learn that until later on in life. And so I would love to share that with my daughter and anybody, that is it's kind of still learning, right? And it's never too late because you can always incorporate those ideas into the mix. But again, the like empowering yourself to be the maker of your own destiny, if you will, and not rely on someone else.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Empower yourself to be. How did you say that? To be your own destiny or to
Yeah, to make your own destiny.
make your own destiny? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like always have different outs. Like you have different ways to um maintain yourself, especially for women, right? Like just have different pillars, right? If funnels and when you're young, my gosh, like it would be so cool for you to like start some of this stuff earlier in life so that by the time, like if you decide to have a family, you can make the decision. Like it gives you that freedom to decide, what do I want to do? Do I want to continue in a corporate environment? Do I want to do my own thing? But if you've taken the time to learn all of these different strategies and have different income streams, you have the flexibility to decide what works best for you. And
Right.
that
Mhm.
changes the game for you. And
Yeah.
if
You have the
you
freedom
have a,
of choice, right? Which you
yes,
wouldn't have if you just relied on a basic income. Mm-hmm.
right, right. Yeah. You're bringing again, you're making your own destiny.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like this. We can use a lot of this in your story and later to your website.
Okay.
Give me just 1 second, Isabel. Let me write this down.
Good thing we're recording this because I won't remember.
Yeah, you have said quite a few gems here, and it's worth sometimes to quote directly of how you say it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this. Okay. When did you start? When you were first starting to get involved with real estate invest? Not just, well, maybe as part of what your parents did, if they involved you.
Yes, they did. It was uh so it's kind of like morphed, right? But like because they were entrepreneurs, like we grew up with them having businesses, and there was like no way, and it didn't register to me really until I was in college that like there was no way they could have brought up a family of eight with like two W-2 jobs. It's just no way. There's no way. They used the mechanic shop to kind of catapult them to be able to like when they needed it, right? Because at the end of the day, from like the IRS's perspective, they probably looked like their income was like $30,000, right? I mean, it's something silly, but they found a way to be able to raise a family of eight on a business, a small business, right? And so I guess I just like, without really realizing, I learned a lot of the essence of entrepreneurship through that, right, over the years. So like I put hours in that during my youth. And then when I was in college, like the concept of house hacking was introduced to me, but like I didn't really know what that meant, and it wasn't the terminology used at the time, and so I didn't take advantage of it. And
Say
then like
hacking? Is that what you said? Okay.
yeah, it's house hacking. And so that's basically like what many people do, which is like if you find a way to make wherever you live, make some money off of the where you live. So like that's where the Airbnb comes into place, right? Like if I'm not here for 2 weeks out of the year, I can rent out my place and someone that's house hacking. Or if I rent out a room in my house, that's house hacking. Like just different ways, right? So like how cool would it have been had I known that and like purchased a house near my university and like rented it out to my roommate or like have college roommates and they're paying my mortgage.
And then
Like,
once you leave, just keep renting it out. Yeah. I
right.
think college places, college towns, and owning something basic, not too luxury around them, are probably really good money makers.
Yeah. And so like now I know this. And so that's what I'll be doing if my daughter chooses to go to university. That's what we'll do. She'll focus on that. And it's like you will have that because now I understand how this game is played, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so, and then there's so many different ways to kind of use that. But kind of fast forward, then my parents retired from the DC metropolitan area and they moved down south. They couldn't sit still for more than 6 months, and so they started rehabbing properties. And like again, we've always been very like close in talking about what the financials and all that looks like. And so I was like, something's not penciling out the way this is being done. And I'm like, I just, and because I studied business and I do project management, I've done construction project management, like just my wheels got turning. And then around that time is when I had my daughter. And so we needed to purchase a home. And so I purchased my home from Virginia in Colorado. I was in Virginia and I purchased a home in Colorado. I'm like, this was way too easy, like
That's awesome.
it's just a process, right? And so again, my wheels were turning and then I'm like, wow, like if I could figure out how to do this and make the numbers work, like there has to be a way to get this to like scale. And
Did you
so
ever receive um, some financial investment help from your parents? Like, no, just
nope.
anything that you made working.
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
all through. And like we're not real materialistic in a lot of ways. So like we just like the first thing that I did when I graduated from college and got my first job is like I paid my student loan off completely.
Good job. Yeah, that's what my son did too. Of course, we helped him. And he was lucky because his little brother didn't end up needing any of his money set aside for college. So we were able
Yeah.
to combine the two, and he was left with a little bit, and he paid it off in the first 3 months when he started working. So I'm like,
Nice.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean like they obviously there were six children. No matter how much they wanted to help, they just couldn't. You know what I mean?
I
It's just
couldn't help all of you guys for sure.
yeah.
That's
So,
unreal. I
yeah.
feel like if you have one child, like you do, right, or us too, we could have like financed all of it if we really tried hard. But I think there's just a value in them knowing how much this education costs and they pitch in there.
Yes, I agree.
I,
Um,
I don't want any of them to, get in so much debt that it takes them like 20 years. Well, if you're a lawyer or a doctor, you're going to end up doing that. But you chose an expensive career and you're going to make it up. But anybody else, I don't feel like Yeah, it's not worth getting into that for 10, 20 years.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. And I
not.
mean, like again, um we live in a society that is so capitalist that like everything's for rent and you don't even realize it, you know, and like you rent your phone. If you get a new phone every year, you're renting your phone. You're not paying if you're paying a grand every year to get a new phone, then then cool, that's good. But if you're doing the membership or subscription thing that allow, then you're renting your phone. You're not actually owning it. So like, but that stuff doesn't register with people, right? And so like we just never were like that. So I have been able to just have like cash, you know, and that's kind of how we started. We again did 20% down for our house. And I was like, okay, this is totally hackable. Like something, there's something to this. And especially coming from the East Coast where the prices in like Washington, D.C. were just, I mean, the house that I'm in now would be like close to $1 million where we used to live. So I'm like, there's something to this. And then, you know, of course, my dad, he's funny that way, he's like, I mean, I've been telling you. So, and then I'm like, okay. And so we opted to get a place in North Carolina because it was closer to them and everything. And again, I learned a lot of lessons because it was a newer build, and I realized that the the hack is to make sure that you get a good price for the house at the beginning. And then you have many different ways to get out of it. And so like renting it, selling it, whatever, right? But again, just being involved in that kind of thing is what brought me to the community of real estate investors, the whole idea of real estate investing, and then like how I can bring in all of the things that I've been doing as corporate for many years and just combine it.
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah,
really
you
kind of
have
how
a lot of information about,
Mhm.
this. And I think even house hacking as a key term here, I love it. I think we're gonna have to use that. I like it.
Yeah. And I mean, I haven't had the fortune of using it because by the time like we bought this house, it's like things like that. Once you know that, just open your eyes because you see this a lot in Colorado now where they have the additional dwelling units or like the mother-in-law suites that you can rent out.
So,
Had I,
mhm.
yeah, like had I known that, I would have purchased a home with that concept in mind.
Yes. And we just had this conversation with my older son.
Okay.
He has enough money to put down payment for a townhome.
Hmm.
He's not sure if he wants to stay in Colorado though. So he wants to travel a little bit, probably for the next couple of years. He's just not sure if he should invest in something because what if he doesn't stay? But of course, we told him if you don't stay, you can still rent it out if it makes financial sense. Or a townhome is something you can easily, that's I think the most liquid of the homes, right? So it's probably easy to sell and buy townhomes because they are lower investment than a. But I did throw it out there that we could purchase, a new home with this additional dwelling unit. And if you don't want to stay, we rent it out easily. So it still would be a good investment, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's very popular here.
Getting popular. So
Yeah.
I want to move into creating a mission statement for you. And if it's not final today, it doesn't have to be final tomorrow, but it should be final in a week or so or 2 weeks.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's move on from the story. I think we have a lot of good material for your story, and I will write you one which you can edit or add to it or
Okay.
take away from it. Uh,
Okay.
what is the true mission of your business? Like if you are just here to show up for a networking meeting and you're brand new and nobody's have heard of you, what are you in business for? What's your goal? In 2 to 3 sentences.
I mean, I guess I struggle with that one because like selfish, there's a selfish reason, right? Like to make money, but obviously that's not really like a true mission statement.
That has to be a part of it, that it's a profitable.
Right, right. Otherwise, it's just like, why am I here?
Yeah, I've met business owners, and if it's a guy, that may be their ultimate one-liner, but that's not a good enough mission. No.
Yeah. No, I would say to leave a legacy. That's really important to me. And I don't know how we say that to make it sound better, but like,
Okay, if we continue like that, to leave a legacy by serving whom and how.
okay, by serving other, I gravitate towards women. I do because it's just much easier to resonate, like, relate. Um, and the community aspect is important, and then like men don't, not all men care about that. They're like, it's just whatever, right? But for me, like bringing the community with me is important. And how would be through like, it's like a mixture of active participating in active work through like consulting, and then also the education part, or like leaving something that they're able to reuse so that it's not like seen as selfish. It's like I'm giving you things with my services that
Just
you can,
reuse and pass on.
yeah. So whether that's knowledge, whether that's tangible, um, I mean, I don't know, like help me out here, like with the branding stuff that you do too, right? Like it's similar.
Mine is to my tagline, which is like the short one sentence of a mission, is to transform your brand with ease. Not sorry, transform your brand with purpose and style. So
Okay.
to change from where you are to elevate you, basically refine, elevate, you know, refocus with purpose, like what's the function of your company, like what are our goals, what's the function, like that piece, and
Uh-huh.
style, because I want you to show up, flowing with the right colors, with really showing who you are. So that's my one liner, and my mission is to basically help other business owners um, to elevate their brand, to really showcase their expertise and who they are, and
Mhm.
also to make the internet a better place, because I do a lot of things. That's a really like big promise, but basically like when people show up online, to make it better, not like to to spam things or downgrade things or vent, but
Sure.
elevate and put out positive things. Basically, these
Okay.
are part of my missions.
Okay. So I'm just kind of like saying things, and I guess over time we can condense it into a mission statement. But like,
What's missing from your mission is like, what is it that you do? What is it? Do we need to list those three things, like financial education or real estate investment education,
no,
project
I would
management?
say more, it's more project management and real estate investing. The financial literacy piece just kind of comes hand in hand with that, but that's pretty much secondary. In my, like the rationale for having ReisaBuild is the real estate investing, which is a more passive that funnels the active income, which is the project management, consulting, and services, like construction project management, for example. So, having a team that will support a real estate investor that does flips,
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
So I'm gonna give you like a starting mission statement. This is
Okay.
what I see. Um, Isabel's mission is to leave a legacy by consulting, educating, and guiding women entrepreneurs and bringing them into a community and teaching them through project management and real estate investment. So we're gonna clean this up a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
But this sounds like this is the essence of what your mission is. This is what you want to accomplish with your company.
And then the only other, I mean, I don't know if it's so women and also like the Latin community is another piece for me. Hispanic.
Is it as important as you want to highlight it in your mission?
Well, I don't that because you brought out the women part, and I don't know if like I don't necessarily go in with it. I relate and resonate more with women, right? But like it's not just that. Like so
I think your mission statement, if you say women, or if you say Latin communities, or women in Latin communities, then that's very, very specific, and
that's what
that
I mean.
includes a lot of people.
Right. And that's what I don't, because like for example, what if it's some I'm gonna make something up, but like someone from Africa, right? That is a male, a kid who's in college and he wants to learn from me. Like I wouldn't want that person to feel excluded. I still want them to be part of the community.
I don't think we need to be this specific then,
Yeah.
but we can add it somewhere, for example, to your own notes, and it could be in your brand guide, but it could be on your website too, that you have a passion to educate,
Women and
women
yeah.
entrepreneurs in the Latin communities as part of your background, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be part of your mission. Your
Yeah. Okay.
clients are more than just people in the
Right.
Latin.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's
right.
a great side passion. This is my passion, one of my side, interests.
Mhm. Like, because it's really more like similar to you. I mean, it's other businesses or like, other entrepreneurs that are like starting off or learning just like I am kind of thing. Like, it doesn't have to be a specific community. Uh,
Right.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
if I think about it, most of my clients are women, but I also have men as clients. So I don't have women in my mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you,
Yeah. Like,
as a woman, you will most likely draw more women, and the
yeah.
same for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are other reasons why guys are attracted to working with you. And
Yeah.
and I kind of guess like why sometimes guys are attracted to work with me.
Hmm.
I don't
I
know
think,
if it's, maybe some of them come from their hearts that they want to, work with a woman because they know women are a little bit disadvantaged in the business world. Or
mhm.
some of it is that they really trust your expertise and they haven't seen another guy in the same, expertise area that they would trust the same way.
I think that would be the case for me specifically in the because I've had this scenario happen like in the world of project management. I've worked for a Department of Defense company and I've been in construction. There have been a lot of times where I'm the only female in the room. And so uh, every now and then the men have tried to test me. And I've proven that I know what I'm talking about. And then after that, it's like once I win them over, you can't like they're on to me for life kind of thing. And so that because project management sometimes can be a male dominated kind of especially in construction, once you earn their trust, they're like, okay, this is a person that I can
Alone and
work.
look up to
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
imagine it's hard being a woman in a construction field or discussion or group.
And yeah, like
Yeah,
again,
personally, I'd be like, oh, what am I doing here?
yeah, no, I again because I grew up, I mean, my father, he was a mechanic, he had a mechanic shop. There was like 99% of the people that would show up would be men, and I'm the first one that they see. So,
Maybe
Like,
that's why they came. Your dad was smart. Like, oh, here's my little girl. She's cute. She's a teenager. Any guy would like to flirt with her a little.
that's right. And I took advantage, I mean, we took advantage of that in a professional way. So it doesn't intimidate me. I mean, like I remember when I just got my driver's license, and my dad's like, also out of need, necessity, because I'm one of the oldest, and so I'm the second oldest first girl, and I was the one. My brother, who was older, was one of the mechanics, and so every now and then, regularly, we needed parts for the cars, and so he'd be like, Isabel, I need you to go get brakes and motor oil and all these things, and I'm like, okay, where am I going? And he's like, go to the dealer or to this place. Would just give me the address and then I'd have to figure out the rest. So I would go there and I'm like, hi. Uh,
But he was like, yes, what can I do for you?
and I'm like, I'm here to pick up. And they're like, really? I'm like, yes. And then over time, you just become confident. I'm like, yes, I got this. And no one could jerk me around. And so 30 years later, when I'm pregnant on a construction site, it didn't really bother me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your brand voice.
Okay.
Since you've been doing social media, right? I assume you've been using ChatGPT or other tools, or just knowing yourself. Like, how would you identify your brand voice if you would have to describe it? And
Um,
look at the Explorer and the Girl Next Door again.
I mean, I guess it's like conversational, friendly, uh, mm, like practical, and like the again the conceptual sort of mindset that I try to when I am kind of drafting a post or something. It's diary kind of where it's like, introspective, I guess is what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like reflecting and like ultimately what I would love to do with my social media is like I've seen a couple of accounts, and I don't remember if I told you my husband's a graphic designer, but he just him and I can't work together. But he like
So he could totally refine your logo the way exact perfect way.
oh, he's
Oh,
doing
okay.
my
You
logo.
have to
Yeah.
show me the newest version.
Yeah. Once I get, yeah. But I'm a demanding client to him. The thing is, it's like, I guess it's called voiceover, where like it's the way that it shows on social media is that like this person is going about their business, doing all that, but you're like listening to their inner thoughts.
I like that. Yeah, introspective is a good
Yeah.
word for that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. So like I kind of like that because I don't, again, it's not, I'm not going to do like a show. It's not a Hollywood show for me. It's not like, Look at me, see how cool I am." It's more like,
Not
y-
superficial at all. It's the very opposite. But
yeah.
the words you describe yourself, like friendly and conversational and practical, those are very girl next door
Mhm.
values
Yeah.
and the brand voice. The brand voice and your values literally should align.
Okay.
So a lot
Yeah.
of times, if you identify your first three brand values, they most of the time could also translate into the brand voice. Sometimes there's a word there that does not sound good for a voice, what kind of voice you have, but a
Mhm.
lot of the times they align. So friendly,
Okay.
conversational, practical, introspective. I like it. None of these align with Explorer though. So let's look at the Explorer traits and see if there's any of it that we can move into your brand values and brand voice. So let me share again
Okay.
what the Explorer, and it stayed right here open, so it's gonna be easy. So, uh, brand voice of an Explorer is bold, free spirited, and open to new ideas.
Oh, I love the open to new ideas.
I agree. I like that for you.
I guess free spirited can be taken a couple different ways, but like in general, I feel like I am pretty free spirited. I mean, I don't come off or I don't go into a situation um like I like to hear what everyone has to say.
Mm-hmm. You're not
Uh,
judgmental.
yeah, yeah. So, and it takes a really, it's very hard for me to like take something like super personal.
That's good. That's kind of good. I'm
You
not good
know,
at that. I struggle with that sometimes.
I
I'm
mean, I like,
wearing one
yeah,
of them.
I guess like, to a certain degree, like I don't know if it's with age too. I'm just like, okay, you're entitled to your own opinion. Like if you, that's fine. You can hate me. I don't mind.
It might be age, but another thing is that you're one of 8 siblings, right? You would have never survived if you took everything too personally. I'm sure there would have been a lot of hurtful things there.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
right.
I what I highlighted here, and please agree with me or disagree. You tell me
Okay.
what you think. I
Mhm.
circled introspective because that's a really good word for you. I've not had it with anyone before, and I love that word.
Okay.
Friendly. I did circle conversational because you have this diary style and you like to even like within your head probably talk to yourself.
Yeah.
And then open to new ideas, which is coming from the explorer, which we can also call open-minded or
Okay. Yeah, I like them all. Funny story about that. So I'm always trying again, right? Explore, trying new things. So I heard about the AI, not a bot, but like a AI avatar or something that like you can hang out with or talk to or something. And so I tried it.
uh-huh.
Like I tried it for like 2 hours because I couldn't take it. Because what happened was, I don't know, let's pretend her name's Avatar. Avatar and I were fighting after 2 hours because I'm like, Avatar, you're being too kind. Like, tell me how you really feel, you know? And she just it was way
Then
too
am I
kind.
bold enough? Like she did not dare.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. And then I realized, you know what? I don't need an avatar because I talk to myself like out loud, even if no one's here. Like I don't need someone else. I can just talk to myself.
yeah, that's awesome. You can entertain yourself. You probably have
Yes.
good imagination too.
I mean, not more than my husband, but I mean, it doesn't need to be, I guess I don't need all that extra stuff.
The truth about, AI, this will be helpful for you too if you want to work on ideas or actual verbiage, like help, some AI tool to create verbiage for you for something.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
literally can input these, parameters, my brand
Yeah.
voice is friendly, conversational, introspective, and open-minded. So
Yeah.
this will be part of the prompts or, the when you create like your own
Yeah.
brand. So since you and it's hard to get this from it. A lot of people try to like ask AI about this, but AI doesn't know you well enough. Like you have to do the deep, work and it's much
Yeah.
better if somebody lead you to these results and come from psychology based than AI. AI is not gonna know you well enough. You're the one who tell AI
Yeah,
who
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
teach
Yeah,
you.
so I have found over time that that works better for me is to like have the draft and then have the AI kind of fine tune it.
Mm-hmm,
Um, but the core of the input comes from me.
mm-hmm, right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I usually use it the opposite way. I ask for a task, it develops it, and then I'm the one editing and fine-tuning it. It's
Interesting.
pretty
Yeah. Yeah.
funny. But of course, the ideas always come from me. So for the
Yep.
tagline, I actually asked ChatGPT for a tagline for you, and I'm not in love with any of them.
Okay.
Uh, but let me give you what it came up with and see if any of those ideas already resonate somewhat with you. Let's see. Um, okay. I switched to um, my chat GPT. Do you see it or do I need to?
Yeah, I can see it. No, I can see it. Yeah.
Basically, I asked ChatGPT that we have,
Yep.
uh, you, who's an explorer and girl next door, archetype, and you're on a mission to offer real estate investment, financial support, and consulting. I don't know if I was 100% right here. To others who would like to become real estate investors themselves. So I asked for taglines, and these are the 10 taglines that it came up with. Building wealth you can actually live. Investing made simple, dreams made possible. That's way too cheesy for me. Your journey to financial freedom starts here. I like that, but it sounds like you're a financial, like an advisor or somebody. Done
Hmm.
through guidance, big picture growth.
I think that of all the ones, that's the only one that kind of,
So far, you like the four is a little bit okay.
yeah,
I kind of like it, but it's still not specific of what exactly you do, right? Not even
yeah, yeah,
think, right?
yeah, yeah,
Turning everyday people into investors. That's not bad. It's very basic, but not bad.
yeah.
Explore real estate, discover freedom. Friendly guidance for fearless investing. That's not too bad either. I kind of like that.
Hmm.
Adventure investing support at every step, where
Yeah,
opportunity meets approachability and helping invest with. So, out of all these, four.
like I would say 4 and 7 maybe. Like those are the only ones that I would be like, okay, maybe we could work with those as a starting point somewhere. But
We'll refine this. We'll work through this.
yeah, the others either too cheesy or like you said, um, are like too like because honestly, like I am doing it through real estate investing, but I mean, I guess the other thing is that it should like spawn off ideas of like how you can take that information or whatever I've given you to go and expand for what works for you.
Yeah, and it's not in it.
Yeah.
How you can spin it, what you learn.
Yeah, because like, one of the fundamental realities with like real estate investing specifically is like the baseline is that you have like everything you said, right, that you've taught your children. You cannot get to a point of talking about, purchasing a home or anything if you have like really bad credit, for example, or if you don't understand the fundamentals of like financial literacy, right? Like if you only make $40 and you spend 50, like you got to understand that concept first before you go and try to next level it with real estate investing.
Yes, you have to have some basic budgeting knowledge
Yeah.
before you set money aside. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
can you tell me, because I'm gonna work on this for you. Um,
Okay.
so in these two that are like kind of like good start points, what terms or expressions did you like in them? The down to earth guidance, big picture growth. What do you like about this
I
one?
like so the down to earth, like I just love that, right? Just because I think maybe that resonates with the girl next door, like just, no fluff. This is what it is. No, there's no um gatekeeping. I'm not trying to um constrict or like, there's no got you. Here's the guidance. This is what it is. I empower you to make the decision that's right for you, but I'm giving you the information and the guidance. You take it or leave it. Um, because at the end of the day, it benefits you, not me, you know? And same thing with like project management, because like real estate investing has the component of the necessity with the home, right? Because so you can take advantage of different strategies to utilize. for your own home, or you can take it to a next level and like do other things with it so it can become, generational wealth and like build wealth off of it.
Mhm.
For project management, for example, like it's not a need necessarily if you don't have a project that you necessarily need to work on, or it's not like a doctor, right? So um it's more like if you see the value in managing a project or having someone who's experienced in managing a project, like a construction project, then um, I'm happy to show you my expertise and kind of how I would run this project for you. But at the end of the day, it's guidance because you are paying me to provide a service for you, but the project is yours.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then the big picture growth is again, it's like the big picture is you're looking at this from the lens of a holistic lens because it's not just one thing. And a service in general is not just like it's very hard to find a tangible deliverable for a service. You have to see the value in it. Like I needed to see the value in the service that you provide. Otherwise, I would say, which I'm sure, people do, is like, oh no, that's too expensive. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go find like someone on Fiverr or somebody can help me do it for a little bit less.
Yes.
Um, so you have to be willing to like see the big picture and see what that growth potential looks like for these concepts. So that's kind of why that tagline kind of,
Like both down to earth and big picture growth.
yeah, yeah, like the actual terminology was cool. And then
And friendly guidance for fearless investing.
I think the idea again of like it being guidance, because again, I'm not trying to force you to do something, right? Like if you're not willing to take the guidance, totally fine. It's a friendly thing, like take it or leave it. I'm not going to force you. And then with investing or real estate investing, like there needs to be a level of fearlessness and like you can't, I mean, because it's we're talking about real money, not like $100 here, $100, like there
Mhm.
is real money associated with this kinds of investment. Yeah.
Mhm. Hey, so I don't know if you noticed, Isabel, but the word guidance is in the first one too, down to earth guidance, big picture growth. So maybe you like every single word. I almost
Yeah.
think we need to expand the first one. And maybe
Yeah.
somehow we can move in the fearless part and the investing part. It can even be like three lines, like down to earth guidance, fearless investing, big picture growth. Because that's like a
Yeah.
yeah, I would even combine this and then let's see if we can put maybe a little different spin on it. We can work through like two, three iterations and then see what comes
Okay.
out of it.
Okay. I love it.
Even combining these three concepts would work together really well, I think.
Okay. And there's like, I mean, there's a couple words in there that I really work well with Explorer, Rebel, and Girl Next Door.
Yeah, down to earth is definitely girl next door guidance is definitely explorer, um, big picture
Fearless.
explorer. Yeah, I think these could work. The only thing
Okay.
I don't mind is that it doesn't relate at all of what you do. But
Yeah. That's
investing is in there. We have to think about whether it's important to put real estate or some hint into it, and whether we need to put project management. But the guidance is covering project management, I think.
yeah, that's why I said like to me, eh, they're good starting point taglines, but yeah, I mean, because that's the challenge. That's probably why the AI did that. Is like when you talk about like investments or when like that real estate investment, like sometimes it can sound very financially and like financial planner, um, that kind of stuff, and like
We don't want to misguide people. You're not
yeah.
a financial planner.
Yeah. And then like yes, I've done different things with investing like, the stock market and stuff, but that's not me. So,
Right. I would actually put in fearless real estate investing.
okay. Yeah. I don't
And
know how long a tagline needs to be, but yeah.
it's a little
Okay.
long, it's a little long, but I think it's a good start. I think we have some good favorite points in here.
Okay. Okay.
We'll refine it. And for your website's purpose, this could be literally the last thing we plug in. The last thing. The whole website could be done and we could just then finalize it because these are the essences, right? And sometimes to narrow down everything to an essence is very, very tricky.
Oh yeah.
The more you work through these things, the more clearer it gets, I think, by the end. So I don't mind if this is just gonna be done at the very end, or if you sleep on it two, three times and I give you two, three other options, maybe we'll find a perfect fit. And
Okay.
I literally just changed my tagline, like the one I told you, transforming your brand with purpose and style. I
Yeah.
changed it 2 years ago, and that was 7 years into my business. It was very, very different at the beginning. So, as
Yeah.
your business evolves and your focus evolves, it's okay to, evolve the tagline and the mission.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I think it's like another thought that came to mind when you said that is like it's okay to change or whatever. Again, I'm all about that. Like it doesn't have to be permanent.
Yeah. So we're actually doing really good on time. Let's talk
Okay.
about a little bit about your words or expressions you would naturally use, which you might have already said a few things when you talked about your ideal clients, all that. But I'm
Okay.
gonna actually like put you on the spot and
Okay.
we're gonna pretend to have like a conversation and I'm like
Okay.
gonna be a client, like I'm first time investor and I'm really interested. Let's say I have, I don't know, $50,000 set aside, and let's talk about like different ways of starting to get ease into real estate investing.
Okay.
Uh, and so you are basically here to talk to me about how you can help me through it. Like, what are the services, or how can you like guide me through this first time process? And I'm probably pretty anxious. I'm excited, but I'm somewhat anxious because I want to
Yeah.
make sure that this kind of money will be multiplying. And for example, if you talk about a flip, I don't want my money to go down the drain on some kind of like project.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, well, I mean, what I would do is I would say, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, are you a Colorado native? Have you lived here for a long time?
No, not at all. But I've lived here for 25 years, so I feel like I've been here longer than most people. So I can
Okay.
claim Colorado mine, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And the what made you like where is that number coming from, the 50K? Is that a specific like investment that you have in mind? Like where's that money coming from?
So I guess I've done some research of like what's like a meaningful, but smaller amount to be able to put down. So I guess I'm hoping that 50,000 will get me either I can invest in either buying, putting down a 20% payment on some small, investment and rent it out right away, or maybe I can partner with some other investors and get into a bigger project. And, I would just, of course, get like a part of the benefit, but I could start somewhere. You tell me what you think about
Okay.
$50,000 because that's what I have
Well,
set aside.
yeah, okay. So I guess the kind of things that come to mind for me are you have to do a little bit of sort of homework for yourself, like decide how much when you talk about real estate investing, there's a couple different strategies. And you have to decide how involved or not you'd like to be. What's your time commitment? What's there because there's like a couple different things in play. There's time commitment, there's experience and then there's your risk tolerance. And so once you kind of hone in on what those things are, we can kind of go down and talk about different strategies that might make sense using those kind of philosophies, right? So, like to give you an example, for me, I have a W-2 job. So one of the things that I'm always interested in when we talk about real estate investing is like, are there ways in which I can save on taxes, for example? So that's a consideration. Because I have a W-2 job, I also am limited on time. That is something that it took me a little bit to learn or to understand. But that also means that I do have the funds to be able to have someone to pay someone to do more of the day-to-day stuff. Um, or like on the flip side, like if you are interested in really learning more about the different real estate strategies because you're looking to like leave your W-2 job in X amount of time, um, you know, there are different ways to look at different strategies and like, some of the strategies over time, once you learn them, will allow you to multiply those $50,000 into something bigger because you'll get the learnings like at the beginning and over the long run you will make more money with that money, right? Or grow that money. So I guess the first step would be to just kind of take some time to write down the why behind a lot of that, and then we would look at the different types of strategies and kind of pair it with how much time do you have, how much resources do you have, and those kinds of things.
I don't have
Before,
much more resources right now as far as money, but I do have time. I can set aside time. So if you're like thinking about a flip, I would want to dedicate like some weekends to maybe demolition work or work that I can do. And I could possibly set aside even time during the week because I have my own business and I can, manipulate my time the way I please. So.
so again, the flips are great ways to get the return on investment because it's very active and short duration. So that's the one really great thing about that. The thing that you need to consider when you're talking about flips though is the level of experience because there's a lot of risk associated with flips and you really need to know the market. Like there's a lot of conceptual things related to real estate that you need to understand so that you don't put yourself in a situation where you're at risk of losing your money.
So if
So,
I'm not as risk tolerant, let's say I would call myself just medium risk tolerant, not high high.
yeah, then I would consider,
Actually.
yeah, I would consider looking at ways to maybe partner with someone that's more experienced and perhaps lend that money out as a private money lender, but be more involved in the day to day so that you can shadow them and learn as your money is being utilized. And that way it's a little bit more of a lighter lift to be able to get to that end goal of being an active flipper.
I see. Okay, makes sense. And so, how can you help me? What are your services that you can help me with navigate this process easier?
So in the world, so one, I mean, community oriented, like I'm happy to connect you with the flippers that I know. I'm happy to connect you with the community at large that I'm involved with. I know a couple of women investors that do flipping in the area, so happy to do an introduction there. And then from the perspective of services related to project management, I've done construction project management. I've done large scale infrastructure project management. So it could be as simple as providing you like a book of templates or checklists to use to manage a flip, all
Mhm.
the way up to actually being your construction project manager, not the boots on the ground, but more of the strategic and helping you find a construction manager that will manage your day to day with
Mhm.
your
Oh,
with
yeah.
your
So your connections would be valuable and the timeline or the steps that I have to check mark. Very
yeah.
good.
Hmm.
Awesome. All right, that's good practice. I wrote down a lot of your things that you said and how you would say it.
Okay.
Perfect. So I think the one last thing we can do today, we still have a little more time. Um,
Like I guess the one thing that I just kind of wanted to say there is like you see what I mean? Like for me, I never want I don't get uncomfortable because I just tell you, but like when when people try to do too much selling, do you know what I mean? Like the car salesman, old school kind of thing. I never want anyone to feel like that with me. It's like I'm not, because again, these are not like, you're not coming to me with your sick child and I'm not going to cure them, you know? I
Yeah.
feel like it has to be way more organic.
Emotion and a helpful comment. Yes, but remember the one thing that the girl next door has as a threat or a challenge is to be too friendly.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I think at some point of the conversation, you do need to ask, like, do you think you need some
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
professional help with, and here's what
Yeah.
I can do for you. So I think it's
Yeah, yeah.
completely fine to include. We wouldn't have this conversation if I didn't think you're some sort of expert at this, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah.
a newbie, like
Yeah.
literally, like I
Yeah.
have a lot of, anxiety around whether I'm just throwing all this money away or is it gonna work for me, right?
Totally, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and that's one of the ways that I've learned to mitigate that for myself is to do those kinds of things where I'm like, I'm happy to connect you with, like, to make it seem like I'm still helping you, but I'm then like kind of going away because if you're not gonna, yeah, if you're not going to purchase anything, then we don't need to continue to talk.
Connect you with two people and then it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's great. It's perfect.
yeah.
All right,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna see what out of this conversation, like what are some of the phrases you use that we can just mix in with the new action words, vocabulary words from the
Totally.
text.
Sounds good.
All right. So why don't we move a little bit into the colors, and we're gonna continue with the colors tomorrow. But why
Okay.
don't you show me the newest version of your
Yeah, I will. I mean, it's very similar, but let me see if I did I download those?
and I put in it's not final, of course. I just put in to your brand colors just so we remember. I just put in the Girl Next Door colors, and then I
Yeah,
and that your inspiration is the Scandinavian Hygge inspired earth tone. So let's just look. Okay, so we have the dots. Now we have all the dots with the middle dot. Uh-huh.
yeah, like I like when my husband said he was like it kind of emulates the house. So it's, like triangular or whatever.
Yeah.
And I like the color because I think it's like a mix between the blues of the Explorer and then
Yeah. What is this color? Do you have the hex number or the name
I
or
do.
whatever program you were using? Just so I
Yes,
can take a note on this.
I do. I do. I have to find it, but I do have it.
I totally lost the video on Zoom. Like it's not giving it back. Oh, there I am. Okay, I fixed it. I'm like, wow, how come I don't have the video? Okay.
Yeah, I have it. I just have to find it, but I do have it.
It's okay if you don't find it now. You can find it for tomorrow. But
Yeah,
okay.
we'll give it to you. Yeah. So
What do
I
you
have
call this color? Like what blue or what is, do we have
it's
an,
it's like it's like cool gray or something. It's weird. Like it's supposed to be, I mean, it's blue, but it's
it's a bluish gray? Okay.
yeah, like when you look at the hex code, it says the definition is cool gray or something.
Okay. That's weird. Yeah, I would call it a
Yeah,
blue, not a gray, but okay.
yeah. But I like I mean, to me it's blue and I like it.
I like it. It's simple, but I like that it has that spunk with the color in it. What does the dot in the house represent to you?
Home ownership, like you belonging inside the house.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And another question that I was wondering about, you may have told me that the name ReisaBuild. I know
Mhm.
Issa is your coming from your name, I assume.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I played around with it a bit, and it's real estate investing, REI,
RE, real estate. Okay.
and then like you guys
Uh,
inside, so it's like the majority of my name, and then build because it has to do with investing strategies and also just building wealth.
Build. Okay, build wells and building. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I like it. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
confused. I'm like, wait, what is this word made up from?
yeah.
Have you thought about what I told you that, because I know you have a cool brand, and have you thought about what I said that focusing on building a name and a brand versus focusing on building you as a brand? Like what are your thoughts about that right now?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, my thought is like initially, perhaps I would have to do like a separate website or something for like the more active project management stuff. But I think keeping it under ReisaBuild and just like keeping that as the, but like, I mean, it's me. So I don't know how to um, like there is no other person. So it's like one and the same. So for now, I'm like, I'll just use this. And then if I need to start separating out the me, then I guess I would. But that's about all I've thought about.
So let's keep ReisaBuild because
Uh-huh.
you created it and you like it and you enjoy it and the logo is built around it.
Yeah.
But once you put your name out there more, like let's say in 2, 3 years,
Mhm.
you should notice if people associate you more with you, or do they even remember the name of your company? Because that's what I find sometimes,
Mhm.
that people know me, but sometimes they don't. They remember the chameleon, but they don't remember the actual business name, or uh,
Mhm.
so it's a fine line, right? If you're the face of a company or if you're a solopreneur, like,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
does it make to create the brand for you? Usually it takes a few years, but I see people switching to their own names after a while.
Yeah, I mean something that I know because like with my corporate job, I know that we do it is the subdomain where you just redirect to the ReisaBuild. So that's another thing that I was going to consider doing is like getting my name and then just have it redirect to ReisaBuild for now.
Literally was thinking about doing that for myself. Literally the
I
last
mean,
6, I'm like, I literally should get MonicaAnderson.com, and it
yeah,
takes less
I think you should
explanation.
do
Yeah,
that because
and
I
just
mean that
read it
happened to
to
me
the
is like I
actual.
remember the chameleon for you and I remember it was marketing, but I don't remember the in between, but I remember your name and so I just put those two things in and it came up. So I and for I work, I mean I do project management for a software company. It's like a SaaS platform and we do that all the time for our the platform. Like because we build white label apps. So like for public transit agencies. So Denver, RTD Denver has an app, right? We built it for them, but they have a website for the transit agency in Denver.
Mm-hmm,
So instead of us, like we have my company has the website, but we just redirect it to their website.
mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
matter whatever way it comes back to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The
Yeah.
one thing I did when I had my website built, and I, rebuilt it a few times since then or added to it, is
Yeah.
that I wanted something short. That's why I have e-chameleon.com, but I also purchased Chameleon Digital Marketing so nobody else buys it. So I, of course,
Yeah.
paying for the domain because I don't want anybody to take it from me. But
Yeah, yeah.
too much, right, for people to type in 3 long words together.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I was what I was looking for too is like something small. So I already have ReisaBuild.com. And I did do a couple of I don't know if I have another. I think I also have my LLC's domain name. So like all of those. I mean, I know it costs money. You're just gonna have to redirect it so they
I don't want anybody to take your name. Okay, so you did decide on Wix, right, Isabel? We
Yeah,
Wix.
yeah. Oh my God, yes. You send me the word. No, too much work.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk people out of WordPress if I see that it's gonna complicate their life.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
And some people purposefully are ready for WordPress, but I still want to double check and make sure that we understand the maintenance piece.
No, I've used WordPress in the past. Like I thought it was. again, cool in my 20s or something, and I wanted to have a blog. I, I did it for like a month and I'm like, this is a lot of work. And I went all the way up to WordPress and I'm like, this is terrible for me. This is too much work.
Okay.
Everything is a plugin.
Everything, and you know what? The last couple of weeks, I literally went for like a long weekend to Las Vegas with my husband. And the
Oh,
minute I
fun.
was at the airport arriving, I got a text from somebody I built a WordPress site a year ago, and he was not on a maintenance package because he said he can do this.
Oh, okay.
The website crashed. He said some people hijacked it, or,
Oh,
I
no.
don't know if that's the truth, but by the time I looked, I noticed that the original 25, 30 plugins that were in there last year somehow became 70 plugins. And I'm like, are you adding all these plugins to the website? Because I have doubt that you need all of them and they probably caused.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I had like another two clients with the same situation. And I'm like, all right, people, when you have a WordPress site, you
this is
either
what
pay for maintenance or you have the hosting company to figure it out because I'm on my long weekend here and I can
happens.
help you in a few days, but not at the moment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I am not and it's not an e-commerce site or anything like that, so I don't need anything fancy. No, I mean,
It's gonna be good. Okay.
yeah,
Do it.
yeah.
So
Okay.
whenever you're ready for that. And then so tomorrow we'll continue with the colors.
Okay.
Narrow, I'd like this blue, of course, to be one of your colors.
Hmm.
And if you wanna, and of course the neutral color that you have in the logo. So those two should be two of your colors.
Okay.
So we're
Okay.
gonna think about what other maybe to move in from the girl next door, if any.
Yeah, I like the pink that you showed in the girl next door, but I don't know if that works with the so I don't know. I need your help with that because I'm not
Put
sure.
those next to each other. I actually would like to see a little bit more feminine color in the collection for you.
Okay. I
I
like the
think
pink.
it would be lovely if you have some kind of mauve or some version of
Yeah.
some.
Oh, I love mauve. Yeah. Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
more of so it doesn't have to have the reddish hues. It could be more coming from the pink, but some feminine, womanly.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you. I'm the same.
We'll
Yeah.
fill around some colors, and we're gonna talk about your ideal clients. And you literally were talking about three different versions, so I think we're gonna have an easy time identifying that.
Okay.
But we're gonna talk about their behaviors or uh,
Okay.
family situations, income, those sort of things. So we
Yeah.
really narrow them down to like a Sally, Henry, Susan.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna call them some different names
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
because that's
Um,
gonna help you really, talk about them or to them when it's the right time.
yeah. Okay. Okay. And then, one of the things too that I struggle with, and perhaps this exercise will help me with it, is um honestly, I kind of so when we talk about real estate investing and we talk about project management, it's not really business to consumer, it's business to business mostly. Because but it's kind of hard to see that sometimes because like the consumer might be the business. So like in your scenario that you gave with the 50K, it's not really like a consumer that's like wanting to purchase a primary home, for example, because that's definitely like on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like pretty up there. 50K that you just have like as reserves is like another level of person. And I don't know how to explain that, but you know what I mean? And so it's someone that,
Not needed for myself. This would be like building wealth and creating a second
yeah.
income. But what do you mean by saying like it's not, that it's more like business to business?
Well, because like, for example, when we talk about construction project management, I'm not really going to be I'm not looking to provide services to someone that is looking to like do something for their house, their own home. It's someone that is in the real estate investing community that is like that understands the value of like checklists and like that they can scale with over time. And so most of the time they are solopreneurs or somebody that has a business that they're running for themselves.
You mean like even a group has is operating under a business? Okay,
Yeah, yes,
okay.
yeah. And I would say the same thing for real estate investing or like because it's all kind of together. The education piece or the community, growing the community kind of thing is where like the marketing and social media piece come into it, mostly just like as a show and tell. Um, but I can't think of a scenario where I would like be trying to pitch to a specific one individual as a consumer.
As a one person show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we'll consider that.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
We can look at it two ways. We can still think about one person who would be the key contact
Yeah.
presenting that business, or we can look at that business as a personality.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
little bit more, complicated concept.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
think about it, all big companies are brands and they have a personality. So you
Yeah.
tell me what makes more sense to you. To me, what would make more sense would be looking at the main person, like the contact person representing that business.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I didn't I wanted to make sure that we use that from that looking at this from that lens as opposed to because I would imagine if you're selling directly to like an e-commerce site or something that's more specific to an individual, then there's like other things to consider when you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for bringing that to the attention.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So that
maybe
was
this will be representing multiple people. Like
yeah,
a
yeah,
brand.
however that right.
Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
All
Well,
right.
thank you so much.
Okay,
Hmm.
I'll see you tomorrow the same time, 1 o'clock. And I think because we did so good on time, I'm hoping tomorrow's gonna be perfect for the colors,
Yeah.
all the rest. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll find the colors that I gave for the logo and then
That would
uh
be good because we can spin the color wheel and find some other matching options.
okay.
And so we
Yeah.
can get in real time together.
Okay, that's fun. Okay, I will definitely and then I'll like just look at the one. Well, do you have the hex codes for the ones that are on your website?
Hmm.
Okay, then I'll just tell you the ones that seem cool to me.
Yeah, I do have those for sure. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm gonna come up with couple of ideas of the tagline that we spun around because I feel like your brand voice we pretty clear on. And of
Yeah.
course the mission we have to work on a little bit, but the tagline it would be nice to actually narrow it down or come closer to the final version.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. And then like at the end when like if I have to create you're gonna give me all that stuff like the hex whatever that's called, the numbers and all that.
In a clear version or my version as a brand guide to you.
That's what I was thinking, that guide, band guide. Yeah, because like my husband's asked me that before. He's like, what's the font and all that? And I'm like, I don't know.
I can give you tomorrow some ideas of fonts, but I think just to play around with fonts also could be like a whole 2 3 hour concept. But what if
And
I give you some ideas? Let
like
me
I get
you go ahead.
I was gonna say my husband, the one that he used is based on the some of the ones that I've
You
like
liked already.
that I like. Yeah. And so
Right?
I'll just give those
You
to
said
you.
Canva Sans, Lato. I like Lato as a font actually. And I
Yeah.
see if Sacramento, I know Sacramento. I have to look at Satisfy and Dancing Script.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just whatever if they go well with the with this logo and things like if you could help me like if that goes well, just tell me so I know what to say every time when someone asks.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's play around with some of these. The thing
Okay.
with the cursives, I like how they have personality, but I don't like too much cursive for sure in a website because sometimes
No.
when people's browsers don't support that, fancy, font, then it's gonna convert it to something completely different. So
Yeah.
it's one thing.
Yeah, no, no, that's more for like I think again I just asked AI for a recommendation. That was more for like if you're drafting a social media post that
Yeah.
you get that,
From Canva or even your logo important. And the other thing, when a lot of people are looking at things on their phone now, and that's like the smallest screen of everything. And cursives are gonna be more difficult to read on a phone. Uh,
Yeah.
than yeah. So I'm careful not to overuse cursive fonts. That's all I'm saying. Mhm.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. It would just be for one-off kind of things. It wouldn't be for
Not for all, like not for paragraphs and stuff. Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Yeah. Let's look at fonts tomorrow too. Uh,
Okay.
I like that idea. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
fabulous rest of your day. Okay. And
I
same,
have
you can same everything tomorrow at 1 then. Okay.
Yes, I have back to school night today, so that's where I will be
Ooh.
at a
Yeah, I'm
time.
going back to a conference. I'm at an all-day conference, and then I have a group meeting that's gonna be fun. And then I have a client, one of the crash websites that I fixed, and we're just gonna go through final
Oh,
details.
I was gonna ask you if you've attended any of the chamber events or anything. I've not gotten back into that with those ladies, but
Today, that's what it is. It's an all-day like women's business conference, so that's the one I'm on. So yeah, I started there. I just came home for you, and I'm heading back, and it's just gonna be like some tasting and happy hour, and then it's done at five
okay.
o'clock. So yeah,
Okay. So has it been good for you? I mean, like, do you recommend it or
Um, I feel like if you don't have a lot of time networking, then I don't know if that's easy because some of the after hour, like happy hour events, I feel like there are too many people. And so I've been there for a year now and I haven't really gotten business, but now I feel like I know a lot of the key people, and even today actually I have some meetings set up for people that are either interested in marketing or other things. So I
okay.
think, but I never expect anything in a year, so I never expect anything serious. It's just getting to
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was my concern with it is like the investment is pretty significant both in time and the money and I'm like I don't know if I'm there yet. So,
Yeah, I think because you have a full-time job, I don't know if you be able to, capitalize on all the opportunities or enough of them.
yeah, I think it's the enough of them because I can make the time, but I mean I already have so many other meetings and things. So, okay.
Did you
Well,
reach out to Kelly asking about where the next? Did you get her email? Because I didn't get her email, but she answered me yesterday that it's
oh yeah, I told her, yeah, I emailed her and she
okay,
said
so you
it's
got it too.
yeah, but I'm at a conference that week, so I'm not going to be able to
I'm
attend.
not up then too. Yeah. I told her like, oh yeah, those are the 5 days I'm out of town. I'm visiting my son and my girlfriend for a weekend in Boston and Hartford. So I'm like, oh, I guess it's October.
That's hilarious. I'm also going to be in Boston.
You
That's so
are?
funny. Yeah,
Days.
that's funny. Huh?
Which days is the conference or which day?
I'm going to be it's the week of the 15th.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll be on the 17th and 18th. I'll be in Hartford and 19th, 20, 21st, Boston.
Ah, okay. So I'm going that Monday. I'm going to Boston directly. And then I have yeah, it'll be the opposite. And so I'll be in Massachusetts visiting my best friend the time that you'll be in Boston.
Oh
So
my gosh, yeah, we'll be very close to each other.
funny.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All
All
right. We'll
right.
see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye,
All
Isabel.
right. Okay. Take care. Bye.